Good morning, everyone. Happy Tuesday, and welcome to our September Mornings with Mayesh. Super duper excited show. And I just want to give everyone a couple minutes to join us before we get started and bring on all of my lovely guests. And please say good morning. I love seeing you guys and knowing where you guys are all at. I see a regular already. TG, hello. Betsy, good morning. Penny, good morning. Keep it coming. I'm super excited about today. Before we get started, though, I do want to just take a moment to just recognize what today's date really is. 9/11. Obviously, I think we all remember where we were on that day so many years ago, but we don't forget. So I just wanted to take a moment and say we remember. And my heart goes out to all of those families that were affected by that day. I know a ton of people. I'm sure you guys do too as well. But it's just a terrible tragedy that I know we'll never forget. So I just wanted to recognize the day before we get started so I don't feel like that I didn't do or say anything. I hate that feeling. So, all right, keep on coming on. Gonna move on so I don't get all emotional on you guys. Good morning, Nancy and Tanya and Erica, Tracy. Good morning, guys. Come on in and join us today. Super duper excited about our show. Obviously, I'm going to have Dave and Shelley on with me answering your flower questions. We have some really great ones talking about all different sorts of things, showing you some great flowers, lots of great care and handling tips today. So make sure you stay on, and then you're going to want to stay with us to the very end because I will be announcing our 2019 Mayesh Design Star, and I will be having this designer on for an interview. So super stoked about this, you guys. I dressed up a little bit. I don't think you can see it very well on my frame, but that's okay because it's a celebration today. And so yeah, just come on in. Make sure that you're sharing this with your flower friends. I would appreciate that. Like and love and comment. Good morning, Cottage Way Florals. Welcome. Penny wants to know if there's a Mayesh in Philadelphia. We don't have a Mayesh in Philadelphia, but we ship there from our Miami shipping division. Yeah, and keep the questions coming in. Those I can answer super quick, those kind of questions. But any other kind of floral-related questions, let us know what they are. If we can't put them into today's show, because we do have a very packed show with lots of great content, we will roll over those questions to our next Mornings with Mayesh. I also wanted to point out that I had mentioned in our last show in August, I can't believe it's already September, by the way, that I will do a review of kind of Instagram, Facebook, website, that type of thing. And so I had a bunch of people respond to that, and I'm super excited to do that. But today's show was so crazy that I don't want to take away from anything else. So what I'm going to do is have a special episode where I go through all of the requests. So thank you to all of you guys who sent those things in. I'm not going to take any more right now. I don't think I'll be able to get to them right this second. But I'm hoping that all of the different examples that I have will be able to help all of you guys. So if you're interested in that, make sure you join me in, I think, 2 weeks. I'll do the reviews on September 25th. And so we'll send out an email about that too, so you don't forget. But I just wanted to bring that up and recognize that. I did say that, didn't forget about you guys, and we'll just be doing it on a separate day with just me and you all. Sound good? All right. Good morning. Keep on saying good morning. Hi, Phyllis. How are you? Allie, nice to meet you. Monica, TL from LA. Peace. All right, so what else do we need to talk about? Make sure that you're posting your comments and questions in the comments below on Facebook. That would be great. We'll, again, try to get to those as we can during the show, but if not, we will definitely roll them over. After the show is over, guys, as usual, we'll be posting the replay on our blog. The replay, as it is right now, will be live on Facebook as soon as we're done, pretty much. So that is awesome. But afterwards, I like to add it to our blog because I include our show notes. And then I also turn this video into a podcast, which is awesome for those of you who like to listen and do your thing throughout the day. So we try to help you out with that. Good morning, Jennifer from Huntress Florals. Love you. Thank you for coming. What else, guys? Talked about the replay, the blog, so make sure you visit that. And then I just also wanted to mention that this show is brought to you by our Mayesh Design Star Flower Workshop Tour. And we have one last stop left for this year. It's happening in Salt Lake City, November 12th and 13th. And I hope that you join us. It's going to be with Kaylee Young. She's amazing and so sweet and giving and so passionate about what she does. And if you want to know a little bit more about what you're going to be getting into, we have been posting our recaps of all of the past workshops. And so I think we have 3 that are up. And we just had one recently posted on Botanical Brouhaha. So we're going to be getting that one up. I think it was Seattle. My head is really foggy. If you haven't noticed, I'm a little under the weather. So my brain is a little bit slower than normal, which is not so good. But we make it work. Yeah, we posted a link to the workshop. And so check that out. And if you have any questions, let me know. You can reach out to me directly and I'll be happy to talk to you about that. Also, before we get started, I wanted to mention that we have our very first Design Star International experience where we invited some special guest designers, and Kaylee will be there as well. So we have Holly Chappell, we have Susan McCleary, Veronica Sicaro. She's been doing our Spanish design videos, and then obviously Kaylee Young. And this workshop is just going to be incredible. We'll be in Quito, Ecuador for almost a whole entire week. And we're staying at this really amazing hacienda. We'll be doing 2 days of a design workshop, lots of hands-on things, lots of great information, tons of great content to help you grow your business. And then we're going to be doing 2 days. One day, I think, with all different farm tours that we can kind of fit in without having to travel crazy hours. And then we will also be doing like the Otavala Market in Old Time Quito. It's just going to be amazing. And guys, it's insane that I've already sold 18 seats. So that means we have about 2 tickets left. I might be able to open up a few more seats, but we don't know yet. So if you really want to go, make sure you grab your tickets now because I have no idea when those 2 will sell out. I've had tons of people tell me that they're interested in going. And I know not all of them have bought their ticket yet. So if you want to go, don't delay because those tickets won't be available for much longer. And I think with that, we're ready to go. I do want to make sure that you guys mark your calendar for our next traditional Mornings with May show is October 9th. So we'll be here again in October, and then again in 2 weeks, I'll be here on September 25th, talking to you guys about Facebook and Instagram and websites and doing quick reviews on everyone that sent me that. All right, so with that, I'm going to bring on Dave and Shelley, my lovely co-hosts for the day. Good morning, guys.
Good morning, Yvonne.
How's it going?
Awesome.
I am good, thank you. And I also wanted to say good morning to Desi. She is our chick in the back room, helping post links and answer questions and things like that, making sure that we're all running smoothly. So good morning, Desi, and thank you for your help. Let's get started, shall we? What do you guys want to talk about? What's going on in the world of flowers right now?
Well, I brought a few samples to look at today. Just a few because we have a lot of content. So fall, favorite time of year, love all of these textures and things that are going on. We've got the Celosia cristata Caracas that's available right now. This is an import from Holland. There's other varieties, the Plumosum that's available from California. So it's just a nice hot color pop. for your arrangements with a really cool texture. So I wanted to show that. Fall is typically the time for grasses and other kinds of fun stuff. So one of our most popular the last few years has been the pampas grass. So here I have some of that. It's got that hot beige color everybody's into, kind of muted and fun texture. We are importing more and more items that you usually see coming out of the United States that are grown in other countries. And I have some lavender on steroids. This is South American grown English lavender. And I kid you not, it's pretty close to 4 feet tall. I mean, look at how big these bloom heads are on this. And it smells amazing. So, you know, you don't always use this stuff really high up in arrangements, but if you had to, you could. And then last but not least, this is one that's more of a, I guess some people use it as a tropical flower, but here in Arizona, we get a lot of use for this for the desert Southwest feel in design, and that's the Banksia. And it's kind of a cool flower. They're more native to the arid regions of like Australia and South Africa. There is a grower in California that does have a perfect microclimate for growing it. But one of the other cool things about this is the way they reproduce them. To grow a new plant, you actually have to let the flower head go to seed, and then it has to be burned in order for the seeds to be released, kind of like some pine cones. So here is a burnt seed head, and if you look closely, you can see all the little seed pods that have opened to release the seeds on it. And this is just totally awesome. These things last forever. I mean, you can literally buy this and reuse it for years and years to come. They're kind of gothic looking, so for you can only, yeah. So Halloween also. Anyway, just wanted to show you guys those. And that's all I've got today. Oh, other than this giant palm leaf behind me. Put that in arrangement. Anyway, thanks guys for letting me show.
Very cool. Very cool. I'm not sure if Yvonne is frozen or not. We can't see her. Can you see her?
I can see her. She appears to be.
She might be frozen.
On freeze frame.
Well, I have some flowers to show you guys while Yvonne's fixing that. We have been waiting for so long to get this rose. Hey, Yvonne.
I'm back now. Sorry, I got stuck. I don't know what happened.
Welcome back.
Technical difficulties.
Yes.
We've been waiting at our branch for 1.5 years to get these roses. It's a red rose. I wanted to show it to you guys. It's called Black Pearl. And we finally got our hands on some. Can you guys see this?
Beautiful. Yeah.
Red roses don't get much love anymore. I think people are sort of, you know, it's a red rose. But when you come across some really beautiful ones like this, and we're moving into fall and winter, and we're going to have more demand for red roses. This is a beautiful one. It's still in fairly low production. It's from Rosa Prima. It's a little difficult to get. I love showing you guys all the things that are difficult to get. I know. It has a really pretty kind of double heart center when it opens up. It's just a good, beautiful, dark red. I love this. So continuing on with our red theme. And the have kind of made a comeback again, and we are seeing some really cool colors right now. This is called Choco. Thank you to our buyer, Lisa Duff, for reminding me of that name this morning. I could not remember it last night. This one is called Choco, and it's a really pretty, it's reading a little red on camera, but it's more of a brick red. And if you guys saw that little tutorial I did on how to repair damaged anthuriums. Anthuriums have really made a comeback right now, especially for what we're calling a soft tropical look. So there's some wonderful colors. They hold up really well. You can paint them and do all kinds of fun things with them.
Yeah, and if you guys missed the blog post, hopefully Desi will find that link for you guys and share that, because it's a really great one, and it uses one of our favorite sponsors, Design Master. So check that out when you get a minute.
And y'all know I love using paints, Design Master paints for touching up flowers. Okay, next, continuing our ruby red theme are these zinnias. These are California grown ones, local from one of our growers. We have been experimenting with the zinnias at our location. They don't seem to hold up very well in the cooler. As a matter of fact, all the ones we've been getting from Oregon were dying within a day or two. I don't know if you had that experience at your place, Dave, but they were just going. So we were talking to our sunflower guy, and he said, just like the dahlias, they like to be out of the cooler too. They have done great. We've left them out of the cooler all week, and they're holding up great. So that seems to be the trick with them. I don't think they like the extreme temperature change. Plus, they grow outside in the heat, so that would make sense. I find that works with the dahlias too sometimes. Not all the varieties, but some of them I have left them from this particular grower somewhat tight and left them out all week at the shop or at the warehouse, and they've opened up and done fine. They don't go down as quickly. So maybe that might have something to do with the heat. Aren't they pretty?
Beautiful. Gorgeous. I love zinnias. I love all the local zinnias too. They're always just amazing.
So I just thought that was I just think they're gorgeous. I thought with our beautiful combo of red, and see how nicely those anthuriums work with all those flowers. So don't be afraid to use anthuriums. They're a lot of fun. And check out that tutorial because it's a great way to show you how to deal with them when they're damaged. So you can resurrect them.
Awesome. Good. Yeah, and I'll make sure I include the link in the show notes as well. Awesome. Good. Okay, so I think that brings us to our first question for the show, and it's from Gay. She wants to know, where can we find a list of what flowers are available in each month? And I love that question. We have a really great flower guide download for all of you guys. We'll be posting the link for that. And what it is it's all of our 12 months of availability lists, and it's in one single document for you guys. So make sure you check that out. We'll post the link for that, but let me just share it on my screen. You guys can check it out. I love being able to do that. So info.mayesh.com/flower-guide-offer. So check that out. Then also I wanted to point out, I try very hard to update our website. So if you go under shop under shop at mayesh.com, you'll see the flower availability, and that is updated every month with the availability list for that month that I get from one of our branches. So you can check that out as well. And then obviously, Gay, if you are, hopefully you have a Mayesh sales rep, and that way they can kind of help you out with that kind of information as well. Because even though there's always kind of a monthly general availability, there's always nuances, and there's Mother Nature and a bunch of other different things that we have to contend with, as you know. So definitely just get to know your Mayesh rep, and hopefully they'll keep you abreast on kind of what is new and hot, or what's hard to get, or just in general what's available. So check it out, guys. Great question, though. Our next question is from Suzanne. She says, I'm having more and more calls for gold roses. Would like more information on varieties and best farms that have long time availability. What do you guys think about that?
Well, I can give you some information on the varieties, but we will not divulge our growers, unfortunately, to you on the air, because we want to keep being able to provide those flowers for you. So there's only a few varieties of gold roses that are being grown. And since they're treated as a seasonal fall color, most growers don't have a lot of real estate planted in this color palette. So the browns and the golds. And, anyway, there are a few gray gold varieties in varying gradients of color saturation. Some names are Cappuccino, Caramel Antique, Camel, Combo, Golden Mustard, and there's a newer one we're seeing now called Toffee. These are all very difficult to get in big quantities, especially for like large events. So that being said, we might have to piecemeal orders together in different varying shades and the different varieties available from different sources in order to fill your orders. The best advice is to be flexible. Supplement that color by using other varieties of flowers in your arrangements.
Very cool. Yeah, this is always a tough one because when everyone wants gold roses or everyone wants a certain shade, it's like literally everyone else wants it. And so it just makes it really difficult. But this kind of not reminds me, but I want to make sure that you guys know that we putting together a rose guide by color for roses, and we're almost done with it. So we'll be launching that very, very soon. And obviously it'll be beautiful and it'll be a great download kind of keepsake thing to make sure you guys always have handy. And we did it not by like what's hot or new or cool, which, could be another great thing. We did it by like tried and true. Like these are the varieties that people really, we went through the data and pulled out everything that people are really buying. So that way that they're great roses. And so make sure you be on the lookout for that is what I want to say for that. All right, we're moving on. We have a great question from Joy. She wants to know, how do you keep the snapdragons from bending? Which just reminds me of a bend and snap, or is it snap and bend? Right? Right. From what movie is that?
Legally Blonde.
Yes. Love that.
Well, interestingly enough, snapdragons are both phototropic, which means they bend towards a light source, and also geotropic, which means they bend away from the center of gravity in the earth. So they're going to do a little bit of a wiggle depending on the position they're in. You can get them to straighten up by using your favorite flower food and hydrating them in as straight of a standing position as possible in a bucket placed directly under a light source. That's the best way to get most flowers to straighten up, as they are either one or the other, phototropic or geotropic. So
awesome. And Shelley, did you have anything to add to that?
We had this snapdragon kind of similar question last time. I just was telling everyone you can tip out the snapdragons. I know people are like, I don't top of the head off, but just very gently. If they're a little floppy on the top, sometimes that creates a little weight on the flower and they want to hang a little bit. So if you do that, and also don't lay them down on your table when you're working with them. Like Dave said, keep them straight up and down in your bucket as much as possible. But tipping them out will not hurt them or affect their appearance. Just don't chop the top off.
Good advice. Good advice. Now I just have Legally Blonde stuck in my head, though.
And it's Witherspoon's daughter's birthday, I think, too. She looks just
really?
like her. Yeah, she looks just like her. Me.
That's amazing. I love it. All right. Our next question is from Hannah. She wants to know, what flower preservatives do you recommend? And obviously we know Dave is going to take this question because he's super passionate about it and it's something that we talk about quite a bit. So Dave, you want to take this one?
Yeah, I'm a huge advocate of properly hydrating your flowers in the right solution. So Floralife and Crisol are like two of the biggest brands out there. There's a few others. Really, they're all going to work about the same for you. It's also important to know your type of flower, and this gets down to using the right solution. Cut annuals and foliages can take about any brand of standard floral solution, but anything that's a perennial or bulb flower is going to need a solution that's intended to replace the hormones that they're no longer receiving from their bulbs. Basic 101, properly nourished flowers not only are going to last longer, but they're going to look better.
Very true.
Very good. Yeah. And I always I know this isn't really along the same flower preservative thing, but just something that Shelley always talks about too is making sure that just the water's clean. If you can drink the water, then the flowers are going to be happy. You say something like that. I know it's not the exact wording you say, but Shelley, did you want to say anything about that?
No, just Dave said it all. But yeah, keeping your water clean. If you can't do anything else, you can't get preservatives in there or whatever, you're too busy. If you just keep your water clean, I always say you want it. If you would, you would want to drink that water, right? If the flowers, bacteria, that's not good, and bacteria is no bueno. So keep vessels clean too.
Yeah,
Very
yeah,
important.
exactly. And we do the same thing as well. We actually just had a challenge. All of our branches were pretty much taking pictures and making videos of, cleaning buckets and making sure that the coolers are clean and making sure all that bacteria and nasty dirtiness is gone as much as possible in a warehouse situation. So yeah, we try to keep up on our end as well as best as we can. The next question is from Darlene, and she wants to know, is there a secret to keeping stock fresh?
Changing your water daily and recutting the stems is going to keep your stock fresh longer. Most floral foods already have a fungicide in them, but you can add a couple drops of bleach to help with problem flowers like stock. Bacteria on the flower stems can grow out of control in buckets, and it will cause a shorter flower life and foul smelling water. I'm sure we all know that about stock.
Yuck.
Getting back to what we were just saying, it's good practice to frequently change your floral solution and recut all of your stems to keep the bacteria levels down in your buckets and in your hydrating solution.
Yeah, good. Thanks, Dave. Again, more processing stuff from Valerie. She wants to know, is warm water better for most flowers when processing than colder water?
I love this question. I don't think we've had it before, and I think it's really an important issue to address. The best practice is to always process your flowers in a hydrating solution with a temperature as close to your actual cut flowers as possible. The safest way is to prepare your buckets of floral solution the day ahead. Keep them in your cooler overnight so that they come down to the cooler temperature. Then when you receive your flowers, whether you're bringing them from the wholesaler or you're having them shipped in, take them out of the box, put them on some racks, and allow them to chill in your cooler for about an hour or two before you start working with them. This way, both the floral solution and the flowers are at roughly the same temperature. This causes the least amount of stress on your flowers. Yeah, conversely, you can do this the same at room temperature, but the cold on cold method is my favorite. Additionally, when you're processing things like roses, you can leave that cardboard sleeve on them for up to a few hours to overnight. This actually helps them hydrate in an upright position so the heads won't lean over, so you don't get that neck bend. Helps them firm up. If your intention is to open your flowers quickly, there are a bunch of other products out there that you can use, like Crisol Easy Dip, and I think Floral Life has Quick Dip. Those actually help the flower stem take the solution up to the flower head in an expedient fashion so that it expedites the opening of the flowers.
Awesome. Thanks, Dave.
Mm-hmm.
Valerie also asked, does Mayesh have any blog post or cheat sheet on processing? It would be a great resource, much like your flower availability PDF, which I just talked about earlier in the show. And before Dave talks about that, I wanted to say that we don't have it yet, but we are going to be working on a download for you guys. But Dave, you can go ahead and talk about what you want to, and then we'll get that availability, the cheat sheet kind of PDF type of thing done in the next day or so.
Okay, I won't go into all the details because I could sit here and talk for an hour just about proper flower care. So we'll just take the basics, which never use softened water. The high salt content is deadly to flowers and also potted plants. It causes those little spots on the bloom, pepper spots, I think people call them. You want to avoid dripping solution or water on your petals. Allow moisture to evaporate before placing your flowers in the cooler. Just a micro layer of condensation is enough to make botrytis spores germinate. Keep your cooler floors clean and dry. Keep things clean, 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 clean. I think that's going to be probably your mantra. Containers, tools, all those things can transmit bacteria and botrytis and other things. Dirty water can contain millions of bacteria that lodge in the base of a flower stem. And an interesting fact is that that bacteria can move up to 4 to 5 inches up into the stems of your flowers. So that can cause all kinds of problems, shorten the life of them. So you want to cut and change your solution frequently. The right solution is going to deliver the right results to your flowers. Follow the label instructions. Don't just guess. Overdosing your flowers doesn't really give any good result. It doesn't do anything better. It actually wastes time and money. Underdosing also is the same. There's some other methods of using like bleach versus Gerber pills. So bleach is great, but it's only active for 6 to 8 hours. Whereas you can buy a professional pill that has a slow release that'll keep releasing that antifungal for a longer time.
So when you say Gerber pills, is that just, they're not just for Gerbers, right?
Right. That's a Crisol brand product. Okay. And it's basically a slow release antifungal. Okay. So you can use bleach, but like I said, it has a shorter shelf life. Okay. Hydrating solutions are important too. When we hydrate things at the wholesale level, we use a really low sugar system. And if you introduce sugar into the system of a flower too early in the process of hydration after it's been cut, it can actually shorten the life of the flower. So all the way through the cold chain, it has to be treated properly. And lastly, things like temperature. You want to keep your flowers as close to stasis as possible. So like 34 to 38 degrees is optimal. You don't want to go much lower than that, but you can go a little higher than that. For the rest of the details, you can check out the sheet because there's a lot of little minutia that we could go over.
Yeah, everything that you put together, Dave, was amazing. So yeah, we're gonna put it together in a PDF for you guys to download. I just need like another day or so to get that put together, and then I'll announce it and send it out to you guys. Awesome, thank you.
You're welcome.
So our next question is from Eva. This is more business related. She says, I always have customers ask for my wedding packages with pricing, but I have been hesitant to provide that since each individual wedding is so unique. What information can I give to a client at the very beginning that gives them an idea of my pricing?
Well, we've kind of covered this a few times about that, but I think from like listing your minimum on your website, it's usually a good idea to have a little questionnaire on your website to kind of, your brides will fill that out and you'll glean a little bit of information. And then once you have that phone conversation, you'll be able to talk to them and see a little bit more if they're a good fit for you. I find that most customers are looking for packages. There's a type of bride out there that really is just trying to get married, wants the basic stuff, doesn't want a lot of fancy frou-frou, but that's what she thinks. And then they'll come to you and say, do you have a package deal? And a lot of old school florists used to do like a bridal bouquet, 2 or 3 bridesmaids bouquets, and a few set corsages and boots. But you could be creative and offer a type of package. There's two ways to do this. Say, I'm sorry, everything I do is bespoke and everything I do is tailored to the individual bride. I don't do a package look. Or you can be creative and do a package that's unique to you, but you've got to be very specific about how you're going to do that. I'll do this kind of flower or these seasonal flowers. You'll get this much for X amount of dollars and leave it at that, and be very strict with your guidelines. Anything over that, they can allocate. They can add order a la carte, and they can add to that package that you want to do. It's getting tougher and tougher right now with weddings. So, and there's so many people vying for the same business. So you can kind of be creative. There's a lot of people that don't want to do big weddings and they want to do small weddings. So if that's what you want to do, focus on that and then figure out a way that that package will appeal to the bride, or say, no, that's not something I want to do. You have that ability to set your guidelines. You can also farm it off to a junior designer. A lot of bigger event companies we work with have a smaller satellite business, or they have younger, newer designers, and they will give those small packages to those people. So those are some ways to handle that.
Yeah, and I always wonder, for a bride that is looking for a package. I also just wonder if it's because they just don't know the pricing for anything. You know, like if you think about people in general, like I always use myself as an example. If I'm looking for something, I'm always just trying to find out like how much does it cost? You know, like is this something I can afford, or do I need to wait a little bit, or if it's for work and it's, you know, like a larger amount, then I know I need to do a little bit more research and really make sure I'm getting what I need for that money. So I think it's just a lot of people just curious on like how much do flowers cost, that type of thing as well. That's just my little 2 cents, though. I have no idea. What do you guys think?
I agree, because I think what happens is a lot of florists hear package and they think, but bride, and I don't want to talk to them. But you should really, that's a potential client. And it's up to you to bust them out a package. Like, hey, come on, sit down. Let's talk about what do you really need and how can I help you? And maybe I can do something smaller for you. Or maybe that's not, you just need to know pricing. People just are so afraid to ask the price. Every single time I sat down with the bride and I said, well, once we get to that point, well, what's your budget? Oh, I don't know, they get all the weird about it. They don't want to talk money. So packages are a way for people to see it black and white. And I think you're very, very right about that, Yvonne.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm curious to see what the other designers find as well, and what they've experienced. So if you do have some thoughts on that, share them in the comments below. I'd love to see them. And before we move on too, I just wanted to point out, because we were talking about care and handling, and Gina had a great tip to just remind people to clean their clippers as well with alcohol or whatever you need to do for that. So thank you, Gina, for sharing.
Good tip.
Yeah, hide. There we go. All right. I want to make sure I don't hit the, big red and broadcast button when I'm doing that. All right. Our next question is from Joanne. She said, I met a designer who's selling her cooler for $1,800. The dimensions are 8x8 and it's a walk-in. However, I was told I could purchase a CoolBot and that would work just as well. What are your thoughts?
Well, we have a lot of our customers here in San Diego that are using the CoolBot and they love it. It's a really great solution. It's cost effective. It's not going to be as strong as a cooler will be. You have to build an insulated room, and you have to make sure that you don't open the door several times during the shower. Apparently, you can find some information about CoolBots on their website. I think I put the link in our notes here.
Right.
I think I'm always about eco-friendly options, and I think it's great because it doesn't have that forced flow air, or they call it brute force air, coming out of the cooler. So far, I think it's been a good alternative. And if y'all don't know how it works, it's a little device that attaches to an air conditioner. Your own, you can buy any air conditioner, and it manipulates how the air conditioner works, as most won't go down past 60 degrees. And what it does is it bypasses it. And so you have to build a room, and then the air conditioner goes in there with the CoolBot attachment to it, and it cools down the room. So for a smaller studio or someone who's working from their home, I think it's a great option. A floor cooler is always good too. They just use a lot of Freon too, and more of it, and it's a little different. It's an expense for sure, but I think the CoolBot's great.
So. Awesome, good. And then I always get a kick out of it because I feel like when one person asks a question, I see similar questions. So we have a similar question from Hannah that's relatable to what you just spoke about. And she said, if you're just starting out with a studio doing flowers for events, at what point do you recommend getting a commercial refrigerator?
So my thoughts about this are that should be a number one investment for you right off the bat. I know a lot of people, especially here in California, I don't know where this particular question was, where she's at, but a lot of people in California have been getting away with not having a cooler for years. People have enjoyed this all the time and they didn't need a cooler. But you should also have a cooler, even if climate, properly process, take care of your flowers, and store them properly. This will give your flowers longevity. So if you're going to start a floral business, that should be the number one thing that you look at purchasing, and that's part of the investment in your business. You never regret having a cooler, ever. Not one person that I've ever worked with has said, oh, that stupid cooler. You will love having a cooler or a CoolBot system or something, because you need that to protect flowers. with the climate change we're experiencing, it's hotter, longer months, not just here on the rest of the U.S. Here in California, it's gotten worse. You need that to protect those delicate flowers. They can't survive this heat, and you can't rely on the flower that'll be mild. So I definitely think that's an important investment for sure. So
awesome. Yeah, and I totally agree. I'm sure Dave does as well.
Cold chain management, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Let me see. Here's a question from Gay that again is relating to what we were talking about. She wants to know, can a walk-in refrigerator be used? The type restaurants use? We have access to a large one.
Yeah, you just have to make sure the temperature is set correctly. That's all. I mean, you can even buy, going back to the cooler question, because I think it's always such an expense for people. Even if you're first going off, you can buy a commercial beverage cooler. I don't know if you guys know what those are. You see them in, like, you go into 7-Eleven and all the rock stars are in there, the drinks are in there. Not exactly ideal for flowers, but it'll work. And if that's all you can afford initially, it's great for keeping your personals in. I've used them, never had a problem with my flowers at all. But if you have a wedding and event and you can't put all your centerpieces and all those things in, but you need to store your personal flowers, that will hold quite a bit of product. So they're fairly inexpensive. You can buy them on Craigslist. It's really hard to find a cooler in California. I don't know if you guys have had experience with this with your clients. It's very difficult just to go buy a cooler. So it's usually people are selling them on Craigslist or trying to move one. They don't have to shop anymore. But having a cooler built is very expensive. So if you can get a walk-in and you've got a good price on it, that'll work. I mean, Cooler's a cooler. So, I mean, the humidity levels are different than a refrigerator. Don't put your flowers in your refrigerator at home, people. Let me say that.
Unless you take everything else out of it that emits all the gases.
Refrigerators are designed to dry things, so they keep things dry. They don't want your flowers drying out. So people think they can stick their flowers in a refrigerator. It's not the same thing. So
good to know. Good to know. All right, I'm going to take one more question, and then I'm going to move on to the next exciting part of our show. All right, so this is from Hannah. She said, orchids are becoming very popular in bouquets. I want to use them, but do you have tips on using them? Do you have popular varieties? And what is the most medium price range orchid, or are they all really pricey? You guys have any thoughts on this?
I love cymbidiums. They're super sturdy. When you calculate the price per bloom on the stem, it's reasonable. It's one of my favorites, I think, just for longevity. They come in a nice color scheme too. There's from the hot colors to the cool palette. So they're even dyeing them now, like blues and colors that don't happen in nature. And I don't know, I'm a huge advocate of cymbidiums. It's one of my favorites.
They're one of my favorites. I was going to say hi, Jill Dawson's watching. Hi, Jill. And
hi, Jill.
I'm going to answer the question, but I want to say a shout out to Jennifer from Huntress Floral. She is here every week, and I love that. And she's been to my workshops. Thank you, Jennifer. You're so awesome.
We love you.
So what I want to say about the orchids is, yes, totally love cymbidiums. They're hardy. They're beautiful. They always elevate a design. Fails have gotten super popular right now. Dyed fails. Who'd have thunk it? And they're crazy right now over Instagram. You can use all orchids. All orchids are beautiful. Dendrobiums are probably the least expensive. Fails and Sims are the most expensive. I don't know if there's Cataleya's, Jeffettes, all those old school classics are starting to kind of come back around again. We're starting to get orders for those more. Those are the most expensive per bloom, I think. But yeah, they're wonderful to use. And you just have to learn how to wire them properly if you're just using the heads. I should do a tutorial on that because there's all different types of ways to wire orchid heads.
Yeah, that would be awesome. I would love that.
So I could do that, yeah.
I'm voting for that. I did want to mention on the opposite end, I know it was asked about inexpensive orchids, but we also have the other end of the spectrum. So what we call our Mayesh Bloom orchids. So we can get fails that have I don't know, over, I think 20 blooms on a stem. Am I saying that correctly? Right, guys? But we need a lot advanced notice to make that happen. So you might see some celebrity weddings with like these giant fail stems, and you're wondering where the heck did they get those? We can get them for you, but this is not something that we're just going to keep in our cooler for a walk-in.
I believe the nomenclature on those is the waterfall Phalaenopsis stems. Cascade. There's another one, yeah.
Yes. So we're able to get those. So I just wanted to make sure that I threw that out there since we're talking about orchids, and I love orchids. They're one of my favorites. Do you guys have anything else you want to share before I move on?
No, just wanted to say thanks for having me on again. It was nice talking to you guys, and that was awesome. And also my thoughts to everybody for 9/11 today too. Not to bring it back down, but that was sweet and great that you did acknowledge that today. So
thank you. Yes, I know. All our thoughts and prayers are with everyone, and we definitely will never forget. I remember where I was. I was just totally tangent, but I was an analyst at Progressive back in Cleveland because I'm in, Miami now. And I just remember just being just so scared, and I'm calling my parents, calling my parents, like trying to figure out how to get home. I was scared to take the highway home. So I was trying to figure out like a back way to go home. I was petrified. I just couldn't even imagine being there and experiencing what everyone went through that, it really affected. So yeah, always will remember. That is for sure. So anyhow,
I was at the Los Angeles flower market, and they were considering evacuating us because one of the planes was headed towards LA. But I think we all remember where we were for that.
Yeah, me too.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, for sure. So anyhow, thank you guys so much for your help with the show today. I love having you guys on, and I will see you. What was the date again? October 9th. We'll be back with Dave and Shelley. Thanks, Dave and Shelley.
Send us your questions for the next show. Thanks, guys.
Keep on sending those questions. All right. Everyone else, stay with me. Bye, Dave and Shelley. Let me do this. All right. Give me 1 second just to get my bearings and get myself in the right spot. So, do I do my own drum roll? Woo! All right, guys. So, I just wanted to talk a little bit about our 2019 Mayesh Design Star. We decided to do things a little bit differently this year. We always try to do it a little bit differently. We have different plans for our workshop tour. We're always just trying to kind of elevate everything that we're doing and just put a little spin on it, right? It doesn't have to be anything big. And this year we decided, instead of doing the full contest, that we were just going to kind of keep an eye on what is going on, like a really good eye. I'm always really involved with kind of the social end of marketing, and I try to be involved and pay attention to what's happening in the forums and the Facebook pages. Hopefully you see me there kind of answering. Once in a while I gotta, step up for Mayesh, which is great. That's part of my job. And but I love watching Instagram and people that are doing the lives and the lives on Facebook. And my team just really had a great time kind of, if you will, stalking people this year. So we really kept an eye on what's going on. And we decided that we would, instead of doing a contest, invite someone to be our Mayesh Design Star. And so that is what we did. And with this person, literally every time so that's your first question, because I haven't said whether it's a he or a she. So every time he would hop on Instagram Live, we would be so excited. We'd be texting each other like, hey, so-and-so is on Instagram Live. Are you going to jump on? Are you going to watch? Are you going to watch? And so we'd be on, and then we'd be talking about it, and then we'd talk about it the next day. And we knew, like, we just love this person. We love him. We just wanted to give him a platform and put him in front of all of you guys, just like we've done in the past. So I just think he's just so incredibly charismatic, obviously really, really talented. And we're just so excited for our 2019 Mayesh Design Star. So with that, let me bring on our guest. Hey, Shean Strong.
Hello, how are you?
2019 Mayesh Design Star, guys. How are you, Shean?
I'm very excited. I'm very, very excited.
Well,
yes, I'm doing.
I just wanted to clap. I wish I could bring everyone else on to clap. I'm so excited about this, Shean. You have no idea. No idea.
Awesome.
Well, I know you do have a little bit of idea because we've talked already and talked with the team. But yeah, we felt like we were a little bit of a stalker with you. And I know like towards the end, you especially noticed because you made some references like we'll be talking. And yes, we did.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
So I wanted to bring you on today because I just thought this was a fun way to introduce you to our community. And I just thought it would be a fun way to get to know you a little bit and ask you a few questions. So are you good with that?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm excited.
Good. So to get started, how about we do something easy? Just tell us a little bit about yourself and your background and how you found yourself as a floral designer.
Yeah. I think like a lot of studio florists, we just kind of fall into this industry. Like it wasn't really intentional. And and a good friend of mine was like, I want you to take full control of my wedding. I trust you. And I was like, all right, cool. So after ordering like, $700 of white hydrangea, that was the only flower I knew at the time. I was designing, and I was just putting flowers in vases. And I, was a little bit anxious the whole entire time. I didn't want my flowers to die. I didn't know what I was doing. I had no idea. But I had a lot of fun and ended up booking 2 weddings at that wedding. And I told the brides, I was like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I would love to be able to do your wedding for you. So from that, I just kind of fell in love. I was in school during the time when I was studying like biochemistry, and that just wasn't like I found a new love, I guess. So I started doing flowers, and I was interning with some pretty awesome designers here in Atlanta, and just taking workshops and doing everything that I could do to kind of dive into this.
I love it. You're kind of cutting out a little bit. Hopefully we don't have too many issues. I know. We've been having some technical difficulties throughout the show, so I apologize. There's not a whole lot we can do about it. Don't know what's going on. But I love your story, Shean, because I do feel like other than the biochemistry part of it, a lot of people can relate to that.
We went to the floral direction, so
No, a lot of people can relate to your story, and starting on one path and then ending up here in the floral industry. So I love that. So tell me a little bit about what is it about teaching and education that you love so much and passionate about? It really comes through when we're watching you on your lives and just what you're doing in the industry already on your own. And so if you want to talk a little bit about that, that would be awesome.
Yeah, for sure. I think what I love the most is I had a lot of people pour themselves into me, and they really invested in me, and they saw that there was a bit of potential or whatever you want to call it. And so I think that I love teaching because those students want to be there. They want to be learning. They want to engage with you. And so if I can I had a lot of, excuse me, like I didn't have a lot of floral experience. So the designers that I was working with, they took the time and they kind of showed me their process, and they showed me how to take care of flowers, and all these just little components just kind of added up to where I am right now. And so I now have like this treasure trove of information from just so many incredible, people that, like I said, have poured themselves into me. And I want to be able to give that back. That's why we teach workshops, here in Atlanta. We have a couple of those every year, and it's just a way to give back to the community. It's a way for you to become involved with something that you might not technically feel like you want to do. Like for instance, I fell into flowers, and I had one girl show up to one of my workshops, and she's like, I want to do this full time. I want to do this. And so it's just re-inspiring people and getting their creative juices flowing and allowing them to experience something with them is, I don't know, that's my adrenaline rush. That's what I enjoy. So
I love it. I have someone asking who you are on Instagram, so I'm going to share that real quick and post it in the comments. I can do that too, live. Make sure you guys can check him out. So here he is, Shean Strong on Instagram, and yeah, definitely check him out and follow him because he's. How often do you do live, Shean?
Pretty much every time I make a bouquet or a centerpiece. So we have a lot of weddings coming up for the fall season. So we'll be doing, I think the next one is going to be in about a week. But we try to do them every time. I say I try to do them every time. Every time I have flowers with me, I try to be able to, talk to my audience and talk to my friends and engage with you guys. So.
Yeah, we love it. And what are you most excited about for next year as Mayesh Design Star?
Well, first off, working with you guys is going to be awesome. I've been working with y'all for a little bit now. And y'all always have wonderful products, so I'm super pumped about that. About is this whole workshop experience to the next level. I really want to have the attendees come away from the workshop with more than just a beautiful bouquet or a beautiful flower to take home. I want you guys to be able to understand pricing. I want you to understand color theory. I want you to be able to break the rules and kind of, play with those kind of ideas of what is pretty and create your own beauty. I want you guys to I don't know, to just better your careers and better your business. We have a couple, I don't know if I can say this part, but we have a couple things coming up with, certain types of courses that we're going to be teaching, and one's could be a little bit more in depth. And so, yeah, I think I'm pumped to be able to share some fun tidbits with you guys.
No, and that's great. I mean, we're just always looking for people that are going to mesh well with, education and being involved with our community is like a huge pillar for our company. And so we're just always excited to bring on people like you, Shean, because you feel, you can tell that you feel the same way and share those values within your own company and for the industry. And, for you personally, doing a live with your bouquet isn't necessarily going to always get you just a new bride. So you have that intrinsic desire to share, and you're just so passionate about it. So we see that in you, and we're so excited about that.
Well, thank you. Yeah. I think it's enjoyable. I mean, we get people commenting and messaging and asking for certain things. I mean, I have a girl I'm working with now who's literally calling me every other day. What do I do for this situation? And I love that. I love being able to be that resource for people. Yeah. So I think being able to be on a platform with you guys is going to be beneficial for so many floral designers on all different levels. So
awesome. Yeah. And I don't know if you're able to see all the comments that are coming through, but everyone's so excited, Shean, and saying congratulations. So many congratulations. There was someone else saying that they stalk you. I want to try and find it real quick if I can. Yeah, they're like, oh, we stalk him too. I
see my mom in there. She's commenting so much.
Yeah. Gay says, hey, from Tulips and Twigs. And yeah, your mom
what
is
I'm
there.
Also excited about is just so many different Instagram friends and Facebook friends and different floral designers that are all over the place and, asking, come here and do a workshop, do this and this. And it's just, there's a lot of energy and effort and work that goes into these things. So being able to work with you guys and to go to these cities that are closer to people and create that, a stronger bond with these friends, I say, Instagram friends of mine. I think it's going to be really fun. I think it's going to be an awesome time.
Yeah. Allie is the other person that says that she's been stalking you as well. So
Allie's so sweet.
Yeah. And Gay's like, oh, he's really smart too. Biochemistry.
Look.
I love it.
Awesome.
It's fun, right?
Well, good.
Okay, so I feel like we talked a little bit about it, but and you can talk, I think, in a little bit more detail than what you did, but without giving away too much, you want to talk about what you hope for a future workshop attendees to gain and take away from your class. You touched on it a little bit, and I think we can talk about maybe the two different kind of classes, if you want to talk a little bit about
Absolutely.
that.
So,
Yeah.
and kind of talking with you guys, we have the idea of working with an all skills, like an all levels kind of course, which I'm really excited about, because I feel like this is not only going to be for those people that are just starting out, but it's also for those people who've been in the industry for some time and want a refresher, want to learn a different technique, want to learn about a different flower. So we're really going to dive into color theory. We're going to talk about shape. We're going to talk about cohesion. We're going to go into pricing. We're going to talk about how to manage multiple people. There's going to be so many components that we're going to go over. I feel like I just want to like give everything and just say it all right now, but I know I want to like tantalize you guys a bit, but we have a lot of things that we're coming up with, and I'm super excited because, again, like I said, I had so many people kind of help me out, and I want to be able to be that asset for you guys. So like I said, color theory, we're going to go into pricing. We'll talk about contracts. We're going to talk about how to get your perfect client, how to get those, $10,000 floral budgets, how to get those $50,000 floral budgets, all those things. That's going to be a major component. And then we have a second course, kind of a second section from the all levels. It's going to be our master courses, which I am explosive. I want you guys to be able to, like I said, take away more than just beautiful flowers. I want these photos that you have, I want them to be able to be used on your websites. I want them to be able to have these behind the scenes shots you can share on your Instagram page. I want you to feel confident and empowered, that you know what you're doing as a floral designer. I feel like a lot of us stumbled into this career. None of us, are born knowing business. We don't know these things. So you've got to learn this stuff, and you've got to invest in yourself and in your business. So I feel like these master course specifically is really going to dive into the people who've kind of been doing this for some time, but just don't know how to elevate and just don't know how to get to the point where they want to be. So it takes some time. It takes a little bit of perseverance, but I think with the right tools, it's going to help you kind of accelerate a little bit faster. So yeah, we're going to be doing different installations. We're going to be doing different bouquets. I want each of our workshops to be that way you're able to come to multiple. It's not. So again, the ideas are endless right now, and I am more than excited to be working with you guys. I think it's going to be a great year for us.
It is indeed. It is indeed.
Good.
Yeah, I'm just reading all of the comments. Allie, you're my new favorite commenter right now. She says, feeling empowered, just listening already. Love.
Oh, good. I love it.
Yeah, it is, right? Katie says, stalking now. See, awesome. We brought a whole new gang of stalkers, Sean. Are you excited?
I'm all about it. I like my stalkers, as long as within reason.
I love it. Okay, so if you could be any flower, which flower would you be and why?
I always get asked the question, what's your favorite flower? And if I had to be a flower, I think I would either be autumn clematis, which I just love, or I would be Helleborus magnificent, just because I like the way it sounds, and they're some of my favorite. So I think that would be my flower.
Very cool. I'm still having sound issues. Do you all hear this okay, or is it just me? I'm just wondering. I haven't seen too many people complain, and usually someone will say something, but I'm just curious to see if you guys are having this or if it's just me. So if there's a little bit of delay, Sean, that's why, because I'm like,
okay,
just waiting, making sure I hear you. And we're wrapping up. So I have one last question. If you guys have questions for Sean, maybe we can take a couple minutes and do a few questions if you want. And I do see them here, so go ahead and post them, guys, in the Facebook comments, and I'll take a couple today. Okay.
Yeah, that works.
My last question for you, Sean, though, is can you just tell us something fun about yourself, totally unrelated to flowers?
I'm a huge foodie. That's something about me. I love all good food. So that's what I'm most excited about. These cities that we're going to. Let me know. That's me. food and flowers.
Yeah. One of my favorite parts too is, getting to try new foods and just be somewhere, even if it's for just a little bit. Because when we go into a city, we're like, bam, bam, done,
Yeah.
and I'm always taking late flights home and all of that, trying to get back into real life. The other thing I wanted to talk to when you were talking about like what you're excited about and what people are going to gain. One of my favorite things about doing these types of things is just being able to get out of your bubble, right? Like stopping real life for just putting it on pause for a couple of days and just taking 2 days for yourself. And that's what I get from it. I love just taking a couple of days to myself, and being with a whole different group of people, doing something that I don't typically do. And I do, obviously, I do some other things outside of Mayesh, and I do it because I want to give back and because I just like to be out of my bubble and talking to new people and doing new things and just taking a moment for myself. So I think that's just a really great thing for all workshops in general.
And I think that's needed as a creative. We function differently. Like the way we work, the way we process things, it's a different type of brain. Mm-hmm. So whenever we are doing things just for ourselves and when we have that creative expression just to kind of play around, every now and again, I will go up to my local supermarket and I will just grab some cheap flowers and I'll play around with shapes and I'll play around with color. Like $12 flowers, nothing crazy, because I need to have an outlet, a creative outlet. And I think that these workshops really, they re-inspire, they reinvigorate, they allow you to kind of have this can-do attitude. So I think that's almost a thing, because you hard, and this is a hard industry, and you have a lot of stress on you. So being able to come to a workshop and just kind of like have no worries, you just get to play with flowers, meet people, and have a great time. It's completely beneficial for the creative process.
Yeah, exactly. Awesome. All right. Let's see. Here's a question from Gay, which I can answer. It says, are the classes you're talking about going to be free on Mayesh? So Gay, to answer that question, we always have our free monthly design videos that we'll be doing with Sean. So we're obviously going to be working on different ideas. So if you guys have ideas that you want to see us do this next year, let us know, because we're starting to plan all of that now. But the workshops themselves, the all levels, and then kind of the master type of class that we're talking about, that'll have a price that goes along with that. That won't be free, but our design videos are always free. So good question, Gay. Thank you for that. I have here, where did it go? Here we go. Oh, how do you say her name? I'm not sure.
Isla. I think it's Isla.
Isla?
Yeah.
I'm awful with that. I can never be the person.
Look, my name is spelled weird, so I go out and I make sure I'm like always saying the right name.
I know, and I have a funny name too. Most people spell my name completely wrong if I have to say it. It's like if you're at Starbucks or wherever and they have to write your name down. Yeah. I'm always like, I always hope that my husband's with me because his name is Brian. It's so much easier than my name. Yeah. Yes. Okay, so Isla says, all the photos on your Instagram are gorgeous. Do you have a best friend photographer following you around?
That's so funny. So I've been fortunate to work with some pretty awesome photographers. A lot of those are like iPhone photos, and I just like ask people to take me photos of me. Mm-hmm. My good friend Shauna Veazey, she's a good photographer, a friend of mine, and she's actually be working with us doing a lot of some of the photos and some of the videos for this stuff. But she takes some photos for me. But yeah, a lot of it's just like iPhone photos, or if I'm at a photo shoot or something, I'm like, can you just grab a picture of me for my bouquet or so yeah, just ask a photographer. But no one follows me around. Unless you want to follow me around, you're welcome to. I would love some more behind the scenes photos.
You're just going to have a whole lot of stalkers with cameras now.
Good.
I got a delay. Yeah, sorry, Sean. Okay.
Oh, you're fine. It's all right. It's probably on my end.
Who knows? You never know. It could be there's a big gray cloud over my house. That's what I always think. Like, always seems to be cloudy lately when we do these shows. Okay, another question from Phyllis. She says, how do you deal with customers who want some crazy designs off of Pinterest?
So there's a delay. I want to make sure I'm on.
Right.
So how do I deal with customers who want some crazy designs off Pinterest? Our first job, and we'll talk about this in our workshops, but our first job as floral designers, we are responsible for managing expectations. We cannot give you what you cannot afford. So what we do in that situation is we just let them know, this is beautiful. We would love to create something like this for you. Because we're working with this investment right here, let's go ahead and look at this route. This still gives the same feeling as this over here, but we're not investing that much money. We're going to be investing this over here. So it's going to be more of a reasonable cost. So it's all about managing those expectations and making sure your client is extremely happy. And then if you're able to, always give a little bit more, put a little bit, do a little extra something, here and there for them if it's allowed in the investment. But I think it's managing those expectations can do cost this to manage expectations and to educate our clients. People think, just because it's greenery, it's going to be cheaper. It's not necessarily the truth. Some greenery can cost way more than flowers. So it's our job as the professionals in the industry to let them know this is what's happening. This is what we can do. These are our options, and making them fall in love with it. You want them to fall in love with the design that you're going to show them. So I hope that answered the question. Manage those expectations.
I love it. Yeah. Beautiful answer. I love it. I love the interview, Sean. Thank you so much. Do you have any last thoughts? I have one last comment that I want to share, I think, to close off this, because I feel like
for sure. I'm just very grateful to be working with Mayesh. I'm super excited for this year. I can't wait to meet each and every one of you guys. You guys can head over to my Instagram. I'm going to be sharing some behind the scenes stuff from this. I'll be sharing some comment on part of this. Meet each and every one of you guys and have an awesome year with Mayesh.
Awesome. Woo! All right, Sean, let me just share this. Where did it go now? I lost it. Here we go. From Betsy. Wow, what a wonderful personality. So excited to see everything he does. Sharing, humble and kind. Yeah, you are seriously amazing, Sean. We are so blessed to have you as our 2019 Mayesh Design Star. We are so excited. And again, congratulations and cheers. Woo!
Thank you. Thank you so
I need
much.
more people to clap with me. Awesome. Thank you, Sean. And we will be talking soon, and you guys will be seeing a whole lot of Sean next year. So stay tuned, and we'll be sharing all of the great information and details about the workshop tour very soon. We're finalizing it now, so stay tuned, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye, Sean.
Oh.
All right. I think you said bye. Let's try one more time. Maybe I can edit it out. All right. Thank you, Sean, and I'll see you soon. Oh, it's stuck again. I'm having a bad day with all of this. All right, Sean, take care. All right, guys. How amazing is this? I cannot believe... First of all, I can't believe it's already another year. We are announcing our new designer, making plans. We're talking about, 2019. I have people asking about 2020. And again, I talked about it a little bit at the top of the show, but just in case you're joining us now and you want to know, how do I become a Mayesh Design Star? I'd love to do this. Just get on our radar, start getting out there. Send me a message saying you're interested and we can kind of talk about it if you have questions. I'm not sure if we'll do a traditional contest or not next year for 2020, but we'll definitely, we feel good about how this year went, where we just kind of paid really close attention of what's going on. Just make sure you, either use our hashtag or tag us. Let us know if you're going to be doing lives, that type of thing. Just tag us in your posts and things like that, and let us know that you're interested in doing this. You can definitely do that privately, but we definitely want to be in the loop on what you're doing and kind of be in the know. And we will love to share about you as well. So just keep us in the loop. And again, if you're interested, just knock on my door. My virtual door is always open to everyone, right? So awesome. Good, good, good. I hope you enjoyed today's show, guys. Lots of great content, as I promised, right? I never promise something and don't deliver. That's something that I pride myself on. And it's just time to wrap up. So if you are new to the show, I hope that you follow us. Make sure you like us on Facebook. Make sure you let Facebook know that you want to be notified. There's a little setting there that will notify you every time we go live or when we post something. And thank you for coming to the show and being a part of it. Without you guys, the show is nothing. We wouldn't be doing it. And every month or every couple of weeks, you guys are showing up. You're engaging with us. You're helping us with our content. You help create the show. So we love you guys. I hope that you're proud of it just as much as I am proud of the show. I feel like this is something that provides so much value, and we want to continue to do that for you guys. So thank you for your help in allowing me to do this. This has been like a dream of mine to do for quite some time. I just didn't know how to do it and didn't have the people. And so now that it's kind of all lined up, it's one of my favorite parts of what I do for Mayesh. So I love you guys. And with that, keep on sending us in your questions. You can send it via our contact form on mayesh.com. You can put them in the comments here on our video replay. You can put it in the comments in the blog post. However you do it, I will get them, I promise, and we will put them in the next show. Don't forget to join me in 2 weeks on the 25th. Tuesday at 10 o'clock a.m. Eastern time. And I will be doing the reviews that I promised. So a bunch of people sent in their Instagram page and Facebook, and I got a couple of websites too. So I'll be doing reviews, quick short reviews of each one. And so I'm hoping that you guys can kind of pick up some tips and tricks on just creating a better page, better experience, and getting more leads and more customers, right? Because that's what it's all about. And with that, we'll also make sure you mark the calendar. I keep on saying, and with that. So hopefully I can edit that out. I don't know if I will or won't. But also mark your calendar for October 9th. That will be our next traditional Mornings with Mayesh show with Dave and Shelley, answering your questions. And now with that, I hope you guys have a rocking day, and I will see you soon. Take care. Bye, guys.